Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hollywood Wargaming, and today we have a pretty unique episode here for you. I do have some products that I was sent to me, some unique Star Wars Legion products that are 3D printed. I have a friend over on Discord and Instagram named Tommy, Tommy Town. If you run into him on there, say hi. He's a good guy. And he kind of brokered in something for me to get some miniatures from 3D printed Squamos Miniatures. And these are designed by Squamos Miniatures and printed by Ham Solo. And these are Lascat warriors. I'm sure you guys know who these are. These are the characters from based off the Ralph McQuarrie artwork, and as appeared by what's his name, Zeb, I believe, in Rebels. And you know, I never really watched Rebels, but when I first saw the trailers for it coming out, I was like, hey, that's based off the Ralph McQuarrie art. That's pretty cool that they did that. And these are, of course, going to be the proxies for Wookiee warriors and such in Star Wars Legion. 3D printed third party. They do come in actual multi-pose kits that are quite impressive. So I'm going to give you guys a quick overview and show you what I got going on here with them. As you can see, I've been sent quite a few from Squamos Miniatures, or Ham Solo himself. Again, Squamos is the designer of these miniatures. He created all the files and the... I guess you would say the architect of them, and Ham Solo is the actual printer, and they are printed in resin. Very, very high quality. I'll get you a piece right here that's fresh out of the bag. Great detail on them. There is a little bit of cleanup on them sometimes, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward, and it's very easy. And they do actually, like I said, come in multi-part kits. And though I have many built here right in front of me, I have some extra torsos. And I do actually have some female torsos up here. And we'll make some female Lascat warriors in a moment. But you basically have all the options here for anything a Wookiee warrior squad would have. Whether it be Kashyyyk defenders or the actual original melee-oriented warriors. It's all here. And we do, of course, have some cards also for them from Cards by Cami, or Cami's custom cards that we will check out later. But just a quick overview of the ones I built so far. Very multi-pose. There is a bit of instructions on how to assemble them and which torsos go with which bodies. And I disobeyed them a little bit, so some of them are a little bit funky. Sometimes there's some gaps here and there, but for the most part, you can get a lot of dynamic stuff going on here. As you guys know, I am a... somewhat of a Wookiee hater, as my channel has come to have the reputation of. And I don't actually hate the Wookiees. I didn't like the original sculpts of them. The new sculpts are very, very nice, and they're just not really my style. I'm definitely more of a gunline player. But if you saw my Wookiee reviews, the Chieftain is amazing. There's no denying that. And now I have a nice stand-in for the Chieftain and other Wookiees if I wish to run them. Here are some guys that are unpainted, and these would be the, I believe these are supposed to be the crossbow proxy. No, sorry, I think this is supposed to be the crossbow proxy. There's a couple different guns here. Very detailed on the weapons, too. Very detailed. I think these are supposed to be your standard, what is it, the X-Bowcaster, whatever it's called. For the Kashyyyk defenders or resistance, and this is supposed to be your crossbow guy right here. I could be wrong about that, but... And then, of course, you have your standard pistol and reek blade proxies, and the Wookiee shield. So you have a guy here holding them. Lots of different head options with a lot of different personality on these guys. And really a lot of different ways to paint them, too. As you can see, I'll go ahead and pull out some of these... Cami's custom cards here. Little extra upgrades here. We do have all the appropriate upgrades. So this is kind of a three-party joint venture going on. I was given these models. This isn't paid or anything like that. I was actually offered to get some of Squamos minis, and then in return, I offered to do a video for them. I'm not being paid. I'm not paying them. They're not paying me. Anything like that. Just kind of, I guess, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. But... I mean, they're incredibly high quality, and I'm very honored to have received them, especially considering that I am one of the smaller Legion channels out there. But they sent me a nice bundle of cards. Look at this beautiful Kenny Baker promo. If we can focus there. But the reason I'm pulling these out so soon, we do have our Cammy's cards here, and they are incredibly high quality. As you can see, the style's a little bit different here. You have the large picture in the background, which is really good for paint reference, actually. But if you're not familiar with the keywords for Legion, it might be a little bit difficult for you. But for the most part, it's a nice, quick reference. And these are third-party anyways, so it probably is more for the deep dive enthusiasts than it is people just looking to jump in the hobby. But as you can see here, they do have the standard Zeb colored armor here with the sort of olives and yellows and orange. And I am a Republic player, so I went with a color scheme that more matched my clone's armor. Sort of like how Obi-Wan dons that armor, and I kind of went with that theme a little bit. I kind of wish I tried out a black undersuit instead of that kind of tan khaki one there. But I think it worked out pretty well. Now this paint job, I got these out of the box, I sprayed them up super quick, and I wanted to get some paint on there and paint that purple skin and see how that worked out. So I rushed this guy through pretty quickly, and I definitely did not let the primer dry long enough, but I think he came out pretty decent. And it's a really nice palette or canvas to try different color palettes here. I think the purple skin is the only thing you really have to abide to, but even then, you could probably dip into blues and reds even if you want to. Give them some a little bit of diversity there. But you just have these this difference between armor and cloth that just creates a beautiful contrast. And also, if you guys hate painting eyes, guess what? Their eyes are very big and very easy to paint. Much easier than painting Darth Maul's eyes, I'll tell you that much. And here I have the model who is going to be my Wookiee chieftain. If I can get it to focus here. There we go. And he has that sort of long staff and holding out a pistol and has an eye patch there. Grizzled veteran, if you will. And they are pretty large. They are Wookiee-sized characters. As you can see here next to a standard Phase 2 clone trooper who is standing completely upright, you're going to have a noticeable size difference. And this is the only one I've had painted up. I have been quite busy lately doing construction, building a guest house in my yard. So a lot of my paint stuff has been on the back burner. But I'm glad I was able to get at least one up, so in case I want to run that Wookiee chieftain. So let's go ahead and get some of these guys out of the way, and we're going to build one right in front of you here just to show how this multi-part kit goes together. And you really have, I used a lot of the weapon options already, but you really get a ton here. So here we have a bunch of torsos. And there are a lot of variety here, a lot of variety. I don't know exactly which ones come in which kit you would buy. They sent me a large amount. I mean, pretty much enough to field 3 full Wookiee squads and then some. So I'm pretty sure that's not the exact amount you get when you buy this. Go to Squamos's site, check it out. I'm not naming any prices or anything here, but he has beautiful multi-part kits. He has one for Rebel Troopers also, and then also some really nice kind of hero pose characters and vehicle attachment accessories. So here we have some female bodies just to show the difference here. You can see the back end of this one's very contorted in case you're trying to go for some more dynamic poses. And this one here, you have your compacted rifle on the back, carbine on the back. Which is nice if you want to go with a multi-purpose and you don't know whether you want to run them as warriors or defenders. You can kind of switch it up in that way. But let's go ahead. We're going to use that body actually with a rifle on the back. And we're going to make a, let's see here. We're going to make a body. I like those legs quite a bit. Here we have a bunch of arms that are reek blades or smaller blades. And you also have arms that are free. And this is a big one that I really like. Because when you're kit bashing stuff and you're putting together characters and you're trying to do poses, there's always not enough just free arms. And having an arm that's just free and not holding anything goes a very, very, very long way for creating these kind of multi-part kits. I'm sure anyone who's done a lot of kit bashing will agree with me there. We have a bunch of pistol arms. A lot of little blaster hands. If you want to do dual wielding, I mean, I got a guy right here who's doing it. Plenty of dual wielding, plenty of pistol in one hand, blade in the other. Just lots of weapon variations you can do. It's very cool. I think with this one, I'm going to try and do a pistol in one hand and a dagger in the other, because she's going to have that rifle on her back, and it's, I mean, she's armed. She's ready to rock and roll. So I'm just going to kind of dry fit and throw these things together here. Let's see. This might be the exact arm I'm looking for. Yeah, we'll go with that one there. Let's get some glue out and start throwing this together. So we're going to have this character kind of advancing and taking a pot shot. Kind of leaning back over and taking a pot shot. Now, I'm using simple Loctite gel super glue for this stuff. I don't think you can use standard plastic glue, but super glue does the job well. It bonds very, very firmly, though, so dry fit them before you do it. I mean, that's a good recommendation for just about anything. What's the old carpenter saying? Measure twice, cut once. Measure your last cats twice, guys. There we go. Long arm on this one, but I think they're kind of terrestrial, swinging through the trees types, so... Or maybe that's just Wookiees. Maybe I'm just getting confused with Wookiees. Oh yeah, we're going to do a blade on this one, not a pistol. Let's do a blade here. And the nice thing is you got different blades and different arms, different extensions. Really plenty of options here. It's quite magnificent. This one might be it. Maybe I ought to go with a free arm here. Yeah, that's not going to quite work. I gotta stop being so picky while we're recording. Yeah, we'll go with that one there. Now, get to bust out the heads, the glorious heads. Plenty of head options here, too. Plenty of unique faces with different expressions. You have some that kind of have that smug Zeb looking on them. Like this guy. I think this is just Zeb's head right here. It's quite on par with it. But then we have, you know, some more serious, mouth agape, middle of combat look. Smug goatee man. Because he knows he's about to smash into your clone gun line. Then we have some female heads that look they kind of remind me of the what is it, House Escher from 40K. They're kind of punk looking almost. They have like big 80s hair. And then we do also, let's see if I have any lying here. They do have some helmeted heads, which are quite nice. Oh, there's one right here. I believe this is a helmeted female. Yes, it is. So they have helmeted male and helmeted female heads, which, of course, this guy has a helmet on. Safety first. You never know when a dwarf spider droid is going to fall off the ceiling and land on your head. Now here is a good example, though, of how there is some fitting. The neck here is quite long. I think lots of cats might have long necks, but some of the torsos are definitely meant to take smaller or different fit heads. That one fits good, but I don't quite like it. You can always trim these necks down, which I have done on some of the other ones. That one looks about right. We'll go with the big 80s hair. Why not? Rock and roll. So there we have our female Lascat warrior, or Lasat. Go ahead and get her on a base here. The Rebel kit that Squamos has is quite nice looking. There's a lot of really cool poses. I think it might be a Rebel Trooper or a Pathfinder. I'm not exactly sure. You might be able to just proxy this both. But man, it is something. And there's a lot of other, like I said, hero prints that are just quite nice. She might fall off this base because I just put her down. But there we go. We have a finished Lasat or Lascat female warrior. Join the rest of the built ones right here. So again, we have a nice little conglomerate of community going on here where we have a very skilled 3D design artist, Squamos, making these beautiful, beautiful 3D print sculpts. We have Ham Solo, who printed these off for me. Just top-notch, absolutely top-notch 3D prints. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to 3D print yourselves. I did a lot of terrain 3D printing, and it came out pretty good. But if you have a PLA printer, you're just not going to get quality like this. And it's just not an easy science to master. I always tell people when they ask about the hobby and the YouTube channel, this hobby is its own hobby. Running a YouTube channel is a hobby of its own. And 3D printing is definitely a hobby of its own. So it's not just an accessory to this hobby. You really are starting a whole new thing. And if you're trying to get, you know, some models here and there, and you don't think you're going to really spend the time to invest and learn that new hobby with 3D printing, do not feel guilty about buying 3D prints from somewhere else instead of just making yourself. It's definitely not like a DIY thing. It's not like installing a closet door where it's just, I'll go buy the materials and do it myself and save a bunch of money, and it'll be worth it. Because it's not like that. 3D printing's not easy. And it's, especially when you're actually trying to get minis themselves, it's somewhat easy for terrain. If you want to get a nice PLA printer like I did and just print a bunch of terrain, you can do it. But if you want nice detailed miniatures, you're really starting a whole new hobby. And it is nice that we have other people out there now like Ham Solo who are, you know, providing that service for us. Because Lord knows it's in high demand. And then we also even have the cards. And if you guys are trying to get updated cards with updated point values, these are all pro bono stuff. So like the Kenny Baker R2-D2 is, they threw a bunch of stuff in here. That's just, you know, we get nice little battle deck checklist, green token reference, just really nice stuff. And they're trying to, you know, the main reason with the card printing industry is getting things up to date. And as we've seen lately, Atomic Mass Games is not afraid to change text and information on cards. So it's nice that we have someone printing cards to get that stuff up to date also. Not that we all really reference the cards religiously, but it is nice to have that stuff in front of you, especially when you go back and play a game after you haven't played in quite some time. But that is going to be my overview for the, I guess, a product review for the Squamos Miniatures Lasat Warriors. Again, designed by Squamos, printed by Ham Solo, and cards from Cammy's Custom Cards. So if you're a Wookiee hater like me and you're looking for some alternatives, or if you just want to get some biodiversity in your Star Wars alien species, these are definitely some A+ models to go with. Very fun to build also. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like. Consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, all those great things. We will have a bat rep coming in the near future for Legion. These guys do not make an appearance in it, but they will in the near future. And if you're interested in checking out any of the people associated with these prints, again, Squamos, Ham Solo, and Cammy, I will leave links in the description of the video down below. So go ahead and give them a visit. At least go check out their website and see some of the other stuff they have to offer. And as always, until next time, guys, take care.